Welcome to the Seireitei, a Bleach podcast brought to you by a single strand of Byakuya's hair because he's worth it. Today we're going to be talking to you guys a little bit about all of ourselves. So before we do that, we'll do a quick introduction.
Hey everyone, my name is Del. My pronouns are they, them, and don't tell Kione and Sentaro, but I'm the real co-third seat of Squad 13.
Oh my god, Shiki, what about you?
Hello, I'm Shiki Bara. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say for my introduction.
Elv, what about you?
Hi, I'm Elvira, and I have a really annoying love for Hitsugaya.
I have a feeling that's going to come out quite a lot, isn't it, as we go through these podcast episodes, which is absolutely fine. And finally, my name is Lethan. I'm one of the admins of the Discord server. How are you guys all doing?
Stoked.
Doing great.
Stoked to be here. Genuinely stoked.
As you can probably, guys, as most listeners can probably tell, this is very new to us, so we'll improve as we go on. But for today, what we're going to be discussing is we're going to be going into a little bit about ourselves, how we discovered Bleach, and who our favourite characters are. No prizes for guessing who Elle's favourite character is.
But I'll give you a shout out on my non-existent Twitter.
But before we do that, we have got an important update, because I believe in the trailer, I may have put my foot in it and said that the Bleach anime was coming back next year, when in fact it doesn't have an official release date yet. So we have scoured the videos, we've double checked. It is only the Bleach art expo, I think it is, isn't it, Shiki, that's coming out next year?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that's been confirmed for next year. However, the anime is definitely coming back, so it is definitely going to appear. We just don't know when yet. And to be fair, even if it was due to come out next year, coronavirus has probably stopped that. So we will keep you guys posted as soon as we know when it's coming back. We will let you guys know. So will we start talking about ourselves then, guys? So we start.
Yeah, sure, happy to.
Well, let's go for it, Dale. Over to you.
All right, fab. Hi, all of you lovely souls out there. My name is Del, as I said. Fandom-wise, I tend to write fic. Well, I used to write fic more often than anything else. These days, I kind of scour Tumblr and talk about writing fic more than I actually write fic. But now that I've got more time on my hands, that is starting to change, which I'm glad about. And I'm a cosplayer as well. Yeah, as far as... Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, well, my first cosplay ever was Bleach, in fact. Most of my cosplay is Bleach. I do some other things, too. Yeah, let's go.
Represent.
I have to. Someone has to.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for that. Yeah, as far as real life stuff goes, you may or may not be able to tell, but I'm American. I grew up in the Midwest, but I live in New York City now, which is, as far as I can tell, far less scary than it sounds. I know the headlines are, like, terrifying at the moment, but I've been staying in my apartment, never fear. Professionally, I work in the theater, and I work in education, and that actually kind of does come back to Bleach in a way. What I found is that I'm really interested in storytelling, broadly speaking, and so in my professional life, as well as in my fandom life, I find it most exciting and most fulfilling to tell stories myself and to enable other people to tell stories too. So that's kind of my whole thing. Yeah. As far as Bleach goes, so Bleach was actually, I want to say, the second or third anime that I ever watched, full stop. I got into anime pretty late when a college friend, you know who you are, and I know you're going to listen to this, so I'm not going to say your name, pal, recommended that I watched. No, I know. He'll maybe I'll give him a shout on Twitter later. He recommended that I watch Cowboy Bebop, and it was revolutionary, changed my life. I was like, great, cool, I need more of this. So I was perusing some streaming services, and I was like, oh, Bleach, that's imagery I've seen before. I know that orange hair. I know that sword. This is like an important anime. So I should probably watch this. Got through the whole entire Soul Society arc, which was all that was available on that streaming service. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm done. And then the way that arc ended, I was like, that's ridiculous. There has to be more. And then I did some quick research and was like, oh, yikes, there are way more episodes than I realized. And by then I was totally hooked. I was hooked from the beginning, actually, like a combination of the animation style and most importantly, the world building and the character building. I think the metaphysics of Bleach are just stunning. I think Kubo's built a really intricate system of existence. And I've always liked the concept of secret worlds that can exist alongside our own. I find that so compelling. Because, like, truly, there is no way that I can say conclusively that there's no Soul Society and no Waco Mundo. I've just never been there. They could literally be there the whole time.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, there's something really magical about that to me. So I think the world of Bleach is what I like the most about Bleach. In addition to the like fabulous and extraordinarily huge cast of excellent characters. Which brings me to my sweet boy. He's not as sweet as people think. And what I have to say, by the way, is that Byakuya's hair might be sponsoring this episode, but he learned everything he knows about hair care from my favorite character, Jujutaro Ukitake, who, in my humble opinion, might have the best head of hair in all of Bleach. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for that.
A round of applause for Ukitake's hair.
Yes.
Which is,
oh my god, yes.
It's a nightmare to keep that wig organized and nice at a con, I'll say that, but it's much like Byakuya's hair, it's worth it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go on at length about Ukitake because I could, and I'd rather leave
at least
some
tell
for
us a
future
little
episodes.
bit. At least tell us a little bit as to what you like about him.
Yes,
Why
absolutely.
did you like him at the beginning?
Why? What don't I like about him? Yeah, no, I know.
At the
no,
very
but in the beginning,
what
like,
drew you?
yes, I have a thing, and ever since I can remember, really, since I like started reading fantasy books as a kid, when there's a mentor figure or a teacher figure who arrives on the scene, I've always found myself drawn to those people, and so between his absence at that first captain's meeting, actually, I was like, oh, who's that guy? I know that's going to be Rukia's captain, and he's probably off doing something exciting or powerful or badass. And then it was like, no, he had a fever or something, and I was like, who is this man and why is he a captain? Like, I was intrigued and confused, and then he was beautiful, and I went, okay, you get a hall pass for at least half of that.
Anger turned to love.
Yeah, I mean, or it just rabid curiosity turned to infatuation.
It's my favorite trope, honestly. You're living my trope.
Who's your favorite character again, Elf? Yeah. No, you're right.
Listen.
I'm sorry, the Ukitake and me had to call out the Hitsugaya and you. Yeah, so I was intrigued. Both Shiro. It's key. Have some candy, kid. But then the Cayenne flashback, where we got to see Ukitake in action. It's one of the few times in canon that we do, actually. I really liked the way that he carried himself. I liked the way that he spoke with Rukia. I liked the duality in him between strength and gentleness, or alternately strength and, I hesitate to use the word weakness, but there's a lot of like surface level, this guy seems weak stuff going on with Ukitake, and I like the fact that he subverts that. So yeah, that's sort of the quick and dirty version of why I love him so dearly. I've got other faves as well, but he's been my number one fave.
You make me want
to the first arc.
You make me want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean that flashback scene is really it tugs at me every single time. Cayenne's great. I think not enough has been written about Cayenne and perhaps his relationship with Rukia, his relationship with Ukitake, like based in canon. There's a lot of like extra canon romantic stuff that exists, sure, and I'm not opposed to that. But I wish we got to see more of just like them working together. I'm a sucker for like mundane discourse about the mundane, like what was day-to-day life like in Squad 13 under Ukitake as captain and Kyan as lieutenant. I love stuff like that.
I agree with that. I'd love to see that as well. But call out, who are some of your other characters that you like?
Oh my gosh, so many. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad I had this prepared, man. Like I made a list because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna forget everyone. Yeah, the first person that so if I like teachers and mentors, I like Megane-kun glasses boys. So Ishida showed up and I was like, oh, you're my guy. And then he turned out to be a dick and I went, maybe you're not my guy. But that said, there's always going to be a soft spot in my heart for him. I love Shinji. He's creeping up on spot number 2. Not that I want to rank my faves because that's not fair to them. I love Urahara. Low key love Askin from the final arc. I think he's sassy and fabulous. I love. Speaking of sassy and fabulous, I love Xylap Rogrons also. There has to be a place in my heart for Shunsui, for Kyoraku through Ukitake as well, and he's one that I came to love more the more that I thought and wrote about Ukitake, because you can't, like, their friendship is a big part of what's made them into who they are now. So,
100%.
Yeah, there are others, but those are that's kind of my main little squad, I would say.
Excellent. Hey! Thank you very much for starting us off, Dale. I think Shiki,
My pleasure.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
So, a little bit about me. As you can tell by my voice, I am an American. I grew up in the small state of Kentucky, and I've lived here most of my life. I occasionally go up north to Wisconsin for university, but yeah, I'm a student.
All I can think of is KFC, because Kentucky.
Exactly.
Love
Popeyes
it.
has nothing on KFC.
I was going to say, spoilers, they have that everywhere now.
So, yeah, I'm a student. I also have a job at my university where I am a lead theater technician. So I do a lot of the stuff when it comes to lights, sounds, although my main calling, if you could say that, in the area is networking. So I do all the stuff with computers. And I am double majoring in Japanese studies and electronic media. So basically video audio production.
Nice.
That's amazing.
As for how I got into Bleach, I come from a very conservative Christian family. My mother would never approve of the show when I first saw it, which was at a hospital at night on Adult Swim. And
It takes me back.
Yeah, the only thing I remember about the episode was they were having a fight and there was this huge guy with like
That could be any
Buddhist
episode.
prayer beads around his neck.
Oh.
I'll probably recognize the show whenever we get to it, or the episode. And I'll definitely call it out when I see that episode. Let's
So,
see.
if you don't mind me
Swear.
asking, at the hospital, what age were you?
Let's see, I would have been probably around 2007. I was born in 94. Now I gotta do math.
2007, so that's 7th grade, so that's like 12, 13, is that right?
Something like that.
So you were too young to be watching this show. This show was maybe a 15. Shocking.
Oh, illegal.
Probably.
I was going to say,
I was a
depending on
bad-
who you talk to.
Yeah, but then after that, a few years later, I would occasionally be like staying up late at my grandparents' house and watching Adult Swim, still like pretty young, and I would catch the episodes every now and then and always like just be keeping an ear out to see if anyone was going to come downstairs and catch me, and always turn off the TV real quick.
Oh,
But
a guilty pleasure.
pretty much. But then I basically fell off the map from Bleach for a few years. And when I found it again, I marathoned it over an entire summer
Yes.
from the start. And I'd be like in my room all day. And I got up to what was live at that time, which was episode 330 something.
Oh, I applaud your commitment there. That's brilliant. That's the best way to
Very
do it.
impressive.
That was the summer I had no life, but I think it was well worth it.
Yes.
You had a life. It was introducing yourself to the Bleach world. Like this.
You had a rich internal life, okay?
Yep.
You were just. Oh, it's brilliant.
So, in that time when I was watching it, I found my two favorite characters, but my most favorite of this duo is Yachiru, second being Kenpachi.
Oh.
Hell yeah. 11th squad represent.
So the reason I love Yachiru, especially, and Kenpachi, is that father-daughter kind of aspect, that family working together almost, that solo father aspect. It's like I've always found that storyline very, I want to say personal, but like touching to me. Something that I really loved whenever I'd watch any anime. And the way they introduced their backstory on how Yachiru first met Kenpachi, like with her crawling up to him in this pile of corpses and then touching his bloody sword and stuff like that, I just thought that was like kind of cute in a way.
I would agree with that. I thought it was cute.
I agree too.
But yeah, and one thing I'm looking forward to this podcast is rewatching the episodes and just falling back in love with that team up.
Yeah. I'm actually excited to be with that journey of you being able to see this, so then you can shed some light on that even more for the rest of us, to be honest.
Yeah, this is going to be good. It's going to be really good to rewatch episodes through everybody's eyes, I think, and seeing things in a different light. Yeah, so brilliant. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Shiki, or is that you?
The only other things I would add is that when I'm watching it, I'm going to be watching it in both English and Japanese, and I'll be making comments on how I think the voice acting differs in how the actors try to play the roles between the two dubs.
I'm going to be on board with you doing that as well. I think I'm going to go back and forth because I also am fascinated by like pronoun choice and suffix choice
Yes,
in
definitely.
Japanese, and like some of the nuance that may or may not be lost when people dub it over. So we can chat about that in the future. That's exciting.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
That sounds really
Yes,
good.
me too.
I'm going to be going through the manga at the same time as watching. I'll be watching the dub.
Same.
Yeah.
I'll be able to
With
comment on
Lethan.
that. Cool, excellent. All right, and I think that's us over to Elf then.
I thought you were going to just say it's over in general, and I was going to be can't forget the one that is annoying about Toshiro. So a little bit about me. Well, I don't know whether you can tell from my accent, but I am from the lovely Australia, specifically Queensland, because Queensland is better, though the heat is extremely not worth it. I am currently studying to get into uni. Sadly, I couldn't just flop over to it after school. So I'm currently doing a course, and I wish to study paramedicine when I get to uni. So I want to be a paramedic. So that will probably take up my life for a while.
That's so good.
Yeah, all I've wanted, I was talking to people in the voice chat here today of just, it just makes me happy thinking about it, because all I want to do in life is to help other people, and that's, hopefully I get into uni, I'll keep you updated throughout the podcast if anybody cares.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Best of luck. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just, yeah, so hopefully, if not, you'll probably just never hear me talking about it again if I don't get into the university. But I'm currently on high distinctions in my units so far. So that's hopefully a telling sign. I don't know. I've still got 2 more terms left of this course. And I think that's about it for me personally. Not that interesting on the
That
IRL
is
side of
interesting.
things.
What to be a paramedic? That's very interesting.
I agree.
Yeah. I love watching Ambulance, so if you never see me on Thursdays, it's because I'm just enthralled in watching it. And I know random facts about a heart attack that is unnecessary for me now, but will be useful to me in the future.
Now you've got me worried, because if
And-
I ever have an issue, well, if I'm over there, I don't know if I want you to be the first on scene with me, because I don't know if you're going to save me immediately or just let me suffer first.
Oh,
no,
yikes.
Save you. I don't like watching people suffer. That's the whole point of why I want to be there. I'll probably
So
hold
it'll
your
be a
hand, and if
mercy
you start
killing, is what you're saying.
I'm
I'm so sorry. I'm kidding. My other thought was like, Shiki, it's gonna take her a second to get to Kentucky. But...
No, I'll probably, if you start crying, though, I'll probably cry with you. I need to fix that before I become a paramedic. I'm too empathetic. It's to the point where it would probably be a bad thing to be a paramedic with how much I just cry when other people cry. But I'll get there. I want to be there with people on their darkest day and be able to just hold their hand. I guess maybe that's why I like Bleach, is like the whole part where they do the console is when, you know, especially Senna in the first movie, just the way she helps that soul before passing on. It's like, it's being there for somebody at their darkest moment. And I guess, yeah, though we hope they don't pass on. We hope that they get better. So that wasn't a really good
no, I can
comparison,
get
but,
that. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all for that, or else I'll be there talking about that all day. So how I got into Bleach was actually when I was still in school, and my brother was in high school. He actually brought home the discs from school, because in our Japanese class, we were showing it, and he had asked to bring it home and borrow it, let alone he never took it back. But that's not part of the issue here. So he was watching it, and I absolutely could not stand it. I thought he was weird. I didn't like it. He would ask me to watch it, and being the annoying little sister I was, I said that he was a nerd and he had to leave me alone. But
that is
not
fascinating.
in those sayings, but I didn't like when he would tell me something was really good, because it usually turned out to be shit, and I didn't want to be that one. But, you know, siblings, they fight. But then my brother was actually showing me pictures of the cast and everything, and this specifically ties into why Toshiro is my favorite. I could not get over how interesting the art was, especially the ones that he was showing me. And in every single picture that I saw, it was a specific picture of captains and lieutenants all gathered together. And there was this one little short thing in the middle of the picture with white hair, and I was instantly drawn to him, and I'm like, I like that character. And I asked my brother all about him, and my brother kind of talked him down. Like, he didn't seem interesting from what my brother said, but I could not get this character out of my head. So one day, when my brother was at school, I think I was sick, I watched Bleach without him knowing, because I didn't want him to have the pleasure of knowing that I watched it.
Didn't want him to be right. Yeah.
And I watched it in the course of 2 days, and I was so annoyed that this one character was not in it, and I couldn't understand it. But I was already hooked, and I liked it. I laughed, and I hated that I had to tell my brother that I liked it, because I had to ask him where this character was and why he wasn't there. I was absolutely distraught. And then, because it was only the first season that he brought home. And then when I found the second season on YouTube at the time, back when that was still new, we were watching it, and then I said, okay, fine, I'm going to ask my mum if we can buy it off eBay. So we did, and we bought the second season, and lo and behold, the second opening comes on, and instantly when I saw him in that frame, running on water, attacking Uryu, I was like, this character, I need to see him. And that's what got me hooked to watch it. And other than the fact that I loved it, this anime was just so funny. It was also those serious moments, the fights. It was just instantly in love, especially with Ichigo as a character. He was just my favorite, like, personality, that characters that I usually love. And still, I was like, where the heck is this character that I've, like, been hooked? The reason why I watched this damn anime in the first place, he was still not there. And then the one scene that he came in was the most dope scene, like the most awesome. Back away now, both of you. Like, I'm just, I was like, hell yeah, this is the character I was wanting. But then I was also disappointed that he never actually ran on water or fought against Uryu. So that had me mad as heck, but it was totally worth it, even though, so if it wasn't for my brother borrowing and never taking back this anime, I would have never watched it. And if he hadn't shown me the pictures, I would never have gotten hooked on Toshiro. But I'm never going to tell him that that it was thanks to him. No, I have. He doesn't watch it anymore. He's not even worried that it's coming back, which stresses me out because, you know, come on, you hooked me onto this shit. You have to be with me. But yeah, I'm just Toshiro. Oh my god. Yeah, I could sit here and talk for hours as to why that character is so brilliant. But I guess I really feel his moments of when he's hard on himself, because I have those moments where I'm like, I need to be better to you know, get on in life, especially if I get into university. That's probably what I'll tell myself, is I have to try harder, I have to do this. And it's also his morals, it's so different from how they represented him in the first few moments. Like, even from the beginning, he's always had his own moral compass that he does abide by more than society's laws, which, considering a lot of people say that he's a very law-driven character, he's literally just so caring. He's like this little icicle that pretends to be all harsh, but he's got such a warm center if you get to the middle of it. Mm-hmm. And I had somebody tell me that a lot of people that downgrade his character, especially in his smarts. if you want to talk about his powers, yeah, Kubo did him dirty with his battles. Don't even get me started on that. But his smarts is just brilliant. He's such a great character. I'll go for an hour talking about Toshiro, but I do like other characters, I promise. It's not just Toshiro. I also like Rangiku. She's a absolute amazing character. She's
you
also
want to talk about a layered character. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Rangiku shows you the goofy side, but then the way she snaps into character, and she's just, and when she's protecting her captain, it's just the most amazing thing. And
it's when she steps in, right, with Gin going to kill Momo, and she steps in and
she's going against
everything
two
she
people
does
that
in Diamond Dust
about.
Rebellion. Like, you think Rangiku's silly? No. Watch Diamond Dust Rebellion and then talk to me.
She is exactly. Thank you. She's brilliant.
Yeah. I got you.
Byakuya has the same kind of moment of you see this guy and then he gets peeled back into this. Look, he has a heart. It's really further down deep in there, but he's got one. And so Byakuya is another favorite. You can see a type forming here. And Grimjow is a babe too. I love him. He's so entertaining. Yeah, Grim Kitty, thank you. Love Grim Kitty. And I think that would be about it. I've got a small range, but I can delve into other characters. Sadly, I do have more that I dislike. I'm not going to talk about that. But there's a specific one that Lethan would agree with me with, but we'll leave that out of it as we.
I was gonna say I'm gonna tap you for that off the air because I'm.
Yeah, you can at me, and if you're in the same boat as me, we can just rant together. But yeah,
I'm so intrigued, and I will definitely do that.
But I that's me. I love Toshiro. I can talk about other characters though, so just because I mention him a lot doesn't mean I'm not cultured enough in other aspects of it. So yeah.
Yay! All right, well, so I guess that's my turn then. Yeah? Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, go for it, Lethan.
Step up to the podium.
Stepping up. All right, so I'm somebody who, and I'm sure a lot of people will be able to relate to this, I'm somebody that when I have nothing to do, it stresses me out. So my list of hobbies and workload is quite extreme. I'm not going to dive into everything in detail, but I'll let the listeners know that I work full-time as a corporate trainer for an entertainment company. So I train the people that will take calls in the call centre in regards to things not working for the entertainment side. I do that full time. I also do YouTube at the weekends as well because I thought, well, I've not got enough work, so let me give myself something else to do. So
Sure.
I have YouTube and I do that. I'll plug that social maybe at the very end, but I'm trying to keep it separate. But I do have an excess of 70,000 subscribers on YouTube, so it has become a second job. And there's a lot to manage with that. And then I had to drop this, but I used to do scare acting. So when you go to these places and you're shooting zombie actors, that was me. I was one of those actors that would get shot.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that was something that I fell into completely by accident when I was looking for something to volunteer for, and it was like, we're looking for zombies. I was like, oh, okay. So I went to zombie school and got trained. You get trained. You can
Most
fail.
people, let's do something health related. I'm a bit of zombie.
Oh yeah, but we
Fun
went to zombie
volunteers.
school, and apparently you can run wrong. Like, has anybody ever told you guys can run wrong? I've never heard this before, but apparently you can
We
run
did.
too
We
fast.
had a zombie day in one of my stage combat classes when I was in grad school. So actually, yes.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about then. Yeah,
I know
so
exactly what you're. And this was in the UK as well. So yes, I know
Yay!
exactly what you're talking about.
we're all about it. But I used to work alongside guys that have now called themselves Scare Scotland, and they employ like they train and they employ, and then so when something comes in. Like, I've been on TV as a zombie before, and there were so many opportunities for doing lots of things, and I absolutely loved it. But the last thing I done for the guys was about 1.5 years ago, because I've just not had time. But I did really enjoy doing that. That was really good fun, and I also am learning a tiny bit of Japanese, and thankfully Shiki is here. He can correct me as he did on Twitter the other day when I said, what was it I said, Shiki? I said,
You said Nihongo wa.
yeah.
Something like that. I forgot.
Benkyoshimasu
Yeah,
rather than
benkyoshimasu.
Nihongo wo
Yeah.
benkyoshimasu. Yeah.
It's
Nihongo.
not wo.
benkyoshimasu. Yeah. So yeah, I said instead of I'm studying Japanese, I said something completely different. I hate particles. I hate connective particles. I can't stand them. I always get them wrong.
Don't. I wanted to learn Korean because I've sadly fallen into a depth hole of BTS. Not going to talk about that. But I was trying to learn it, and there is the particles, like, I'm just like, whoa, this is why I never learned Japanese either. I can't take that stuff in. So I give you guys props.
I live for
always
that
get
stuff.
Oh. Well, I'm relying heavily on Shiki to help me with stuff like that. So anytime he sees anything, he'll be able to teach me. It's all good. Yeah. So I was learning Japanese. I've not done anything for it in the last few months, though. It was mostly touristy stuff I was learning. Anything else about me that's interesting or needs to know? Probably not. That's
Fanfiction writer.
Fanfiction. I have over 1 million words worth of online fanfiction.
Yeah, see, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I have probably only less than 10,000, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, I've got like 5.
I've got a lot, because as I said before, I can't stand not having something to do. So when I'm sitting there with nothing to do, I have to give myself more homework. So I'll usually start a fic, finish a fic, write a fic, whatever.
That makes me feel lazy.
Oh my god, I'm so bad. But anyway, so this lockdown is not doing my anxiety any favours. But anyway, let's not talk about that. So I started the Seireitei, which is the the Discord server. And I was like, okay, let's get as many writers and authors, because at the time we didn't know if the anime was ever going to come back. So I was like, this is really important to me to bring these groups of people together so they've got someplace. And we ran a bang. I'm not going to go into that, but we did run a bang thing, and then it led into this podcast eventually. So like a long
And maybe
roundabout
just
way.
for folks who are not super connected to the fanfic world, can you explain what a bang is in like a super concise way, Lethan?
Yeah, so a bang is like when groups of people who care about the same fandom come together. So an artist will be paired up with a beta reader who will be paired up with a fan fiction author, and together they'll form a little team of people. And those teams will have, I think we had it was almost a year. I think ours ran for like 10 months or something like that. They'll have a set period of time where they have to create not only a story, but a piece of art to go with the story. And then they all get released on the same day, and it's bang. That's it.
Yeah. To be honest, we should look into having another one.
We should, yeah.
If especially the podcast listeners, if any of you think, wow, that's a great idea, like it'd be great, especially with the Bleach coming back. Also never bet that it's not coming back. because you will regret it.
Yeah, because we've already had the
no.
confirmation. We have the confirmation.
I
it
feel
is
like there's a
coming back.
story there, Elv.
Oh,
No.
right. Oh,
This is
yes.
Lethan's time.
Sorry,
This is
yes.
Lethan's time to talk.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're right. That's true.
So-
Lathan, go on. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good because I'm about to talk
Don't
about
throw
that.
me
So
under the
Elf did bet
Not right now,
against
give
me
me
that it was gonna return.
Look, I lost all hope, and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
And I was like, no, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So she made a bet with me, and turns out she was wrong. I was right. And that means that I get a Hitsuruki, either an art piece or a fanfiction. How's that coming along, Elf?
Oh, yikes. Oh, little ice baby is forever.
Yep. And have you done anything for it yet?
Listen, I'm still trying to get over the fact that I have to do it. Like, I'm aware of it. You'll get it before Bleach comes back. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my god, I'm going to have to wait for ages. But I will keep holding you to that. So yes, that's what
And
you
now
get
the
for losing
listeners
to me.
will too. They will be kind and they will be gentle, right, listeners? But now the listeners will keep you accountable too.
I can't write or draw. I don't know how to do that.
Yes, you can.
So-
You done the bloody. Don't you?
No.
Don't you dare!
No.
You done the bloody piece of artwork for the bloody the logo for not only our Twitter, our
Lies.
Tumblr,
Don't know what you're
our
talking-
Discord,
don't know what you're
and the
talking about.
podcast. That was you. I have
Don't
the
know what you're
evidence.
talking about.
I can post all the evidence. I'm posting that on Twitter. Right, girl. Anyway, right.
this-
Sit down. Right.
I'm
so
sitting.
how I got into Bleach, man. So my story is a lot more similar to Elf's story actually, but it wasn't a brother or anything. It was actually my ex. So my ex and I were together, and by this point I'd stopped watching anime because I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon and Digimon and a lot of the old school stuff.
Yep.
So I knew that I liked it, but I'd always, because the anime that I'd been exposed to was always for children or kids, I just always thought that it was for kids. Like, I always
Yeah,
thought
I
it was
feel
like
that.
cartoons. So when, I know, right? Yeah, stupid me. So when my ex was like, oh, have you heard of Bleach? I was like, not interested. And he was like, no, but I think you would really, really like it. And in my defence, he showed me a really terrible scene to try and get me to like it.
So did my brother. So
Do you remember
I'm a
which scene
very-
it was?
Yes, I remember exactly which scene it was. So I'm
I'm
a
so
very
excited.
I need to explain that I'm somebody who is I'm a very vain person, right? I am very vain, and I will open up to that. I like good-looking anime characters. I'm a sucker for really flawless, pretty designs, which will lead into my favourite characters later. But the character he showed me was Ukiura, which I was like, oh, that's a really nice character design. That's really interesting. But I was also a bit like, why is he so pale? Because I didn't understand anything at this point. I was just like, why is he so pale? Why is he crying? What, like, I didn't understand.
Why is he
any of it.
crying? Oh, wow.
I
There
didn't
are so many
understand.
answers to that question.
I didn't
Ukiura
understand.
is not the character you show to anybody, especially people getting into anime, because they just go, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah, it's not like a normal looking human character, right? So
Yeah.
already I was like, okay, I'm interested, but I'm disconnected from this character. I don't understand what's going on, who he is, his
But his
backstory,
whole thing is
anything.
disconnect. That's great. Wow.
So good,
Yeah.
right? Anyway, the scene that he showed me was between Ukiura and, I can't remember the Aronkar's name, but the one with the creepy smile. Somebody help me out.
Loopy?
I
No,
think it
probably
maybe was. I
not.
can't remember. But it was somebody that,
Was it really
One of-
big?
I can't remember, but they were in a
One of the
hallway
tennis
together.
Spada or somebody else?
I think it was one of the 10, yeah.
Oh, big smile.
Hold on, it's gonna annoy me now, so we're gonna have to just pause for like 2 seconds.
Because like Halibel has a lot of teeth, but I wouldn't call that a smile.
No,
No,
it definitely
it's not
wasn't. It
Halibel.
wasn't her. I would have remembered her.
Was it Grimjo? Because of its
No, it
smile?
wasn't. Again, that's somebody
Yummy?
else. It was.
I'm feeling like it's Loopy, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Admit it.
Yeah.
It was
if he
like-
was really big, it would have been Yami.
It's the,
Well,
the
Yummy,
one.
don't
Right, wait a
know.
minute. It's the one.
I mean, there was
with
Wonder Weiss too, but that's a whole nother matter.
Right,
He's
hold on.
just that's Wonder Wise. You could just say the dopey one.
Yeah,
Um,
the dopey one who messed up my boy.
I've posted
should
it
never
in
have happened.
see the podcast host chat. See at the bottom left. Bottom left.
Ah, yeah.
That one.
Let me see here.
Oh,
The bottom. Oh, Noitora. However you
That's
say
it.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's go with that. I'm
yeah,
terrible with the
so
names.
Annoyed. I'm so annoyed I didn't know that one because I literally described him as the creepy fucking smile one. I'm so mad that I didn't think
Nah,
of-
that's okay.
No,
So,
actually,
what
To
the
be fair,
listeners-
just for the listeners who don't have the visual, I would say about half of the Arankars in this picture, piece of art are smiling anyway. I think a lot of them,
He's the
a lot of them
spoon.
smile. He's the spoon.
spoon?
He's the
It's
spoon
like
with one eye.
the creepy one. But anyway, so the scene was between these two characters, and I will say to the listeners, by the way, I'm terrible with names of anything ever, so I will give them all my own names. So this is Creepy Smile Arankar. That's how I know him as. And it was between, and as soon as I saw him, I was like, right, nah, it's not for me. Like, I don't know what's happening. I've no idea who these people are. Why are they dressed like that? They look ridiculous. Like, I had no idea. It was a really shit scene to show me. So anyway, I was like, nah, not interested. So he dropped it, and he shouldn't have. But anyway, it's fine. Because then after we broke up, a friend also said to me, "Oh, you should watch Bleach," and I was like, "No, I've seen scenes of it before. I'm not interested." And then somebody else at work said, "You should watch Bleach." I was like, "Oh, for God's sake!" That's been like 3 people now trying to shove this bloody anime down my throat. Anyway, I was still convinced that I wasn't watching it. I was like adamant at this point. I was almost annoyed with Bleach at this point. And when I went and done a whole video around Bangor, which is a abandoned mental hospital. Oh, by the way, also for listeners that don't know, I'm from Scotland.
No, I would not have told.
you wouldn't be able to ken, eh? But yeah, so around Scotland, around the area that I'm from, or Fae, I should say, Livingston has got an abandoned mental hospital that takes up like acres and acres. There's like an abandoned church shop. It's huge.
That sounds so
And
cool.
So cool. So we went exploring around there and we'd done a whole video, and the footage was like, oh God, we had like 3 hours worth of footage, and I was looking at it thinking this is going to take me like 8 hours to edit together. So I wanted to put something on in the background that didn't require my attention. So I was scrolling through Netflix, and lo and behold, Bleach is there. And I'm like, right, that's that bloody stupid show that people keep telling me to watch. So I put it on. And bearing in mind, at this point, I still thought anime was for kids. I'd missed the little warning on it. So when the character started swearing and there was a lot of blood, I was like, oh, this is not for kids. And my editing like slowed, and my eyes were flicking up to the TV more and more and more for every episode that was going on and on and on. I was like, huh. And before you knew it, my editing project had to get postponed because I just got sucked into Bleach. And then that was me, 366 episodes later, over the course of 6 months. I would literally wake up in the morning, put episodes on as I was getting ready for work, go to work, on breaks, at lunches, watch more episodes, come home, get my dinner, watch more episodes, and that was me hooked. So, I ate my words, a lot of words, should I say. I ate a lot of words, but that brings us into my favourite character, so who I ended up falling in love with. And Elv can give me a high five here. I fell in love with Toshiro Hitsugaya.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely fell in love with him. And he was my favourite character for a lot of reasons. I really like dragons, so when he came on with his Shikai, and like I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. And yeah, and his teal eyes, his hair, I just loved his character design, even if he was a grumpy little sod. But more than anything, I really loved his relationship with his lieutenant. Because I love the fact that she and him are total polar opposites of each other, but they are also very, like, they'll do anything for each other. Like, she is committed to him, and we saw that when she stopped Gin from killing Momo, even although we then find out they've got history that goes probably back further than her and Toshiro. Well, wait, it does go back further than her and Toshiro.
Canonically.
Way
Yes.
further. Yeah. And so
when she was
still...
like young, yeah.
Yeah, she's still stuck by Toshiro regardless of that. So that, like, their relationship I loved. And even when he decided, I'm going to go investigate Central 46, there was no hesitancy from her at all that she was coming with him. And she follows his orders without him even needing to, apart from doing paperwork. She follows all the rest of his orders when he gives them to her.
Yeah, Rangiku's just, she'll stand up when she needs to, and be the person she needs to when she wants to, but when she needs to. Paperwork is something that's unnecessary.
That's so true. So yeah, I've got a lot of favourite characters. So obviously Rangiku is one. I absolutely love Rangiku, but my other favourite is Rukia, because at first I was like, oh gosh, she's another damsel in distress. That's what we need. Yay, here we go. But then you find out why she wasn't able to battle and why her powers were so weak. And I was like, oh, okay, there's more to this character than I thought. And then I started to fall in love with her more. And then when I found out she also had like an ice type Zanpakuto, I was like, oh my god, these two need to get together and have beautiful ice children. But it wasn't going to happen. It was never going to happen. They don't even have a moment on screen where they're in the same frame together, I don't think. But Rukia and Toshiro.
Oh wow.
They do.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for that when we read
I'm
it.
going to be keeping an eye out.
Oh my god, I love that Elf just knows.
I don't ship them, but I loved this scene because it was the scene in the Zanpakuto arc, the one afterwards, so it is a filler, when Zenbon and what is Rukia's Zanpakuto
Sode no
name?
Shirayuki.
Yeah,
Sode no Shirayuki.
When they throw a party at the 10th division, Rukia apologizes to Shiro when he says, "What is this, Rukia?" And she's like, "I'm sorry, sir. It's a party." And he's like, "I can see that." It was brilliant. So I do remember that scene.
We'll see if somebody could just put like a mistletoe above them in that exact scene. That'd be fantastic. But it's not going to happen.
They do
I smell a Christmas
talk to each other 2 other times, though. I'm surprised, Lethan, that you don't know. How do I know? The one that's not a Hitsuruki shipper. I know every scene that they are mentioned in.
I would like to just say that I have fallen into the world of fanfiction, and that has been my I haven't watched Bleach. Well, I have not watched anything beyond the first 3 seasons, like the Soul Society arc. I've not watched anything beyond that in about 2 years. So I don't remember anything. So I'm really excited that our podcast is all about me watching it, because I'm going to be like, yay! So I'll notice a lot of these moments, hopefully, going forward. But yeah, I think that's everything. Yes, please do. But that's everything from me. Now, one thing that I did notice, Shiki, you mentioned 2 favourite characters. Have you got any more?
The only other character that I can recall right now liking is the one captain who is sciencey. I can't remember.
Mayuri Kurotsuchi.
Yeah.
Mayuri
12th division. Yep.
Yeah, the reason there's only one scene that made me love that character. It's when he was talking, I think it was with one of the Arankar about, who was also a science guy.
Faizo.
That's the one. That is one of my favorite fights. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can't wait to rewatch it.
It's like the whole his thing, like the Arankar wanting to become perfect and make perfect things, and him being like,
that's Zyle.
No, I don't. Yep. Yes, that. I love that scene, and made me love it.
If you want to talk about a scene, I just had a conversation with somebody actually. Plu, not the Pluton that's been in our server for a while, but Plu, they love Mayuri, and I had a great talk about that entire segment. So yeah, I wouldn't have remembered what one you were talking about if it hadn't just been 2 days ago that I was talking about it. It was. I haven't seen it yet though. I sort of skipped a bit at the end and just watched Toshiro. Not gonna lie. Like I have not seen poor Dell's favorite episode with Jushido. I'm sorry, don't kill me.
Oh no, that's okay. I don't have a favorite episode per se. I have favorite characters and I have favorite moments, but the truth is Bleach is so varied and there are so many things to latch onto that I'll watch something and then I'll go, like, Shiki, you said Kurotsuchi, and I was like, oh my god, the fight with Uryu is so good, and that, which, one of my favorite fights, hands down. But then you started talking about Zyle, and I was like, oh, one of my favorite fights, hands down. So this is going to happen over and over. I'm going to have 18,000 favorite moments before this is all said and done.
Yep.
Yeah. So Shiki, was there any other characters other than Mayuri, or is it just Mayuri other than...
Those are the ones I can actually say are my favorites, really. I'll probably find new favorites when I rewatch it, because my memory is absolutely horrible. I have feelings about Toshiro.
Oh, that was loaded.
We'll discuss
Say more about that, Shiki.
We'll discuss this in general chat.
Yeah.
No, I want to discuss this now. Wait a minute. Wait. Do I need to fire somebody from this podcast? I'm joking.
Do we need to?
Let's just say I'll probably be trolling you two every now and then whenever he comes up.
Why? Why would you do that to us?
I could disconnect you.
Oh gosh! Right. Okay.
No,
that's,
you can have an opinion about Toshiro as long as I don't mind Yeah, that's wrong. No, but see, I'm happy to talk about Toshiro in a very unbiased way, I will admit. But the moment you start discrediting him for something that's canon, I will get frustrated. Simply because, like, I had a discussion with somebody, and it's especially if you know someone's favorite character, meaning my name on the server is Little Hitsugaya, you have the respect to not bash a character.
Yeah.
And not that somebody might, but if you're going to discredit canon itself, that's when it gets frustrating. But if you want to troll me, go ahead. See the repercussions that will bring when I absolutely go down on freaking Kenpachi, because
this is why I don't want you to be the one as my first responder if I'm ever in Australia dying, because I'll be like, Toshiro, shit. And then you're just gonna let me die.
And you'll be the first person that she'll let die.
Slowly just put air in the needle as I give you your pain medication. Yep. But you won't have to pay for your ambulance trip, so you'll be fine.
Oh, that's hitting real close to home right now.
Right.
They said it's fitting squarely in their mid-20s in America. Oh boy.
Oh no. Yep, that's right.
Anyway,
yes. So guys, that was pretty much all today's podcast was about. It was really just getting to know us, and then we will, from this point onwards, be taking you guys through the episodes. So anybody listening can join in with us. We will post on our socials what episodes we're probably going to plan on watching, but I know that the first couple of episodes are pretty loaded. So what if we said we watched like the first 3 episodes and then talked about them? Would that be good? What do we think?
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
That's good.
First three, cool. So and then we will come together, we'll talk about it on a podcast and then continue on. So we have some social shout outs, so don't we? So I don't know who wants to shout out their socials.
Well, before the socials, I guess we should talk about the Discord server if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
There is a Discord server that we run called TheSeireitei. It will be a cut-off server with 2 individual areas. So you got your fanfiction side, where it's more of the fandom fanfiction community, where we all share all our favourite fics, what we write, and our artistic creations. And then there'll be the podcast side, so you can interact with us more closely, give us your opinions, talk to us about what we talked about in episodes probably. And yeah, it's probably going to be linked where, Lethan?
Yes, it will. I'll link it.
And yeah, as for other personal social media, I don't personally have any at the moment. Stay tuned if I do get any.
So they can just find you on the server and stalk you there.
Yeah. So I am by Elvia on the server. You can add me. I'm pretty easy to talk to, I like to think. If you're on Discord, I don't know whether I should say my actual username if you want to add me.
Well, if they find our Discord server, Seireitei server, they can find us there. And then
my nickname may or may not be
Hitsugaya or anything like that.
You don't know. It'll be pretty obvious. You'll find me real quick.
I think we all have our names. We all have our names in the Discord server somewhere in our name, don't we? So like whether it's in brackets or whether it is our name, we've got it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's all for me. Okay. Moving on to Dell, tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aw, thanks. I'm it. Yeah, you can find me. For now, I'm just going to shout out my Tumblr and my AO3. I used to be, for anybody who's like coming into this podcast from like having followed me in 2016, I'm sorry. I used to be Dame of No Delicacy. These days, I am Sonnets and Snowdrops on both AO3 and Tumblr. AO3, there are underscores between the words, and on Tumblr there are hyphens, dashes between the words. And all of that is linked in my intro in the Discord server. So you can go to the Discord server and then through there find my other information.
Hey.
Nice.
Excellent.
Shiki, go.
Yeah, Shiki.
All right, so for my social medias, you'll primarily find me on YouTube and Twitch, where I'll one day get back into content creation if I can find the motivation. I go by Shikibara on there. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, where I just literally just shitpost and give my opinions on things and then troll.
And correct me.
Yeah, and troll Lethan. You can find me there at Shiki Baka because Shiki Bar
Oh,
was already
man.
taken.
It's not a bad
Ooh,
alternative,
that
frankly
pain.
speaking. That's cute.
Yeah, it's like I do my like troll account with Shiki Baka for that. It's fun.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Love it.
I love it, brilliant. So I'm going to give a shout out to the Discord related socials as well, because Geisha, who also helps us run the Discord, will kill me if I forget to mention them. So you can find, obviously, all of this will be in the descriptions down below, or the summary, or wherever you find this stuff will be written there. But you can find us on Twitter at TheSeireitei, so T for Tango, and then Seireitei, all one word, all together. That's our Twitter. And then on Tumblr, you can find us just by searching TheSeireitei. We're on Tumblr there as well. For my own personal socials, most of them are linked to my YouTube. So you can find me mostly in the Discord server. You can find me on my fanfiction sites as LethanWolf, Lethan, and then Wolf, all one word. And that's on AO3 and on Fanfiction.net. And then if you want to check out the YouTube stuff, it has no real relation to Bleach, except I do have my whole collection of manga appearing in the background of all my videos that I do as Wee Scottish Lass. You can find me by Googling Wee Scottish Lass. And that's everything from me. So I think, was that everything? I think we covered everything.
I think we did.
Yeah.
I think we did, yeah. So guys, we'll look forward to seeing you guys and hearing from you. Please come into the Discord server and engage with us. We would absolutely love to have all of you join. And we will catch you next time. We're hoping to have a podcast up sort of before the end of the month, 2 weeks-ish time. But we'll go up when it goes up, and we'll fall into a regular routine the more of these that we do. All right? Cool.
Sounds
Take care then,
brilliant.
souls. Yeah, take care, guys.
Amazing. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great next couple of days, couple of weeks.
Yeah, have a great lockdown. Woohoo!
All of
hey,
us,
hey,
souls.
have a great lockdown.
Watch Bleach. That's a good idea. Rewatch, reread Bleach. You know, get into the fandom. You know, take this time to just sink your teeth into this Bleach phenomenon. Like, come on. It's like, it's literally a roll call of you need to do it. You know, this is
You'll be
a
glad
perfect
you did when the
opportunity.
anime comes back. Yeah.
Exactly. Get into it.
For sure. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.